Hello, my name is Alexander Henry, and this is my Blue Ocean project, which is called, for the time being, Ceamer, which is basically the idea of a creator-centered entertainment kind of platform. But before I get into what Ceamer is, my name is Alexander Henry. I am a freshman at Peak to Peak Charter School, which is located in Lafayette, Colorado. I act, I film, I'm an editor, which kind of makes me good for this job as it's the industry which I already spend a lot of my time in and my hobbies and what I do. So, works out really well for me. The problem that I'm trying to approach is the idea that individual creators in the entertainment industry are not highlighted. YouTube, when it was originally created, was kind of centered towards individual creators, but as it has continued, bigger studios have gotten onto the platform and become the new norm, with the top two YouTubers being industry or like companies, and then 4, 5, etc. are also companies, with only number 3 being an individual creator. So that's number 1. Also, obviously, big studios receive a majority of the attention. When we go on social media, stuff like this, the majority of the view goes towards things like Jurassic Park, Disney, all these different bigger corporations, anything on Netflix, stuff like that. The final problem is that smaller creators or individual creators are delegitimized by unweighted creators, which isn't meant to be mean, but it's by creators who don't spend a ton of time in their work, and they just put something out, and it gets famous and seen, but it's not that good. So when people think of individual creators, especially with TikTok, they think of people who don't put in that much effort but get a lot out of it, which just isn't true. Individual creators, but a lot of times, maybe not on TikTok, but they put in so much work and effort into their creation, and it just doesn't get seen. Anyway, our innovation is kind of a combination of something like YouTube and Netflix. The idea that we need individual creators and we need them to be highlighted, but in more of a professional way, so that it is legitimized that they've put effort into this, they've put work, and that it is something that should be seen. That's the idea. Platform which highlights individual creators. Kind of a professional version of early YouTube, which did highlight individual creators, but we want it to be more professional and more trustable for the consumer. The 4 actions framework of what I want to do is eliminate the delegitimization of small creators. I want to reduce big studio preference. I want to create equal treatment, global professional platforms, so everyone's treated equally, no matter if you're a big studio or a very dedicated individual creator. And to do that, we need to raise individual preference. So, Blue Ocean Strategy Canvas. As you can see right here, I have YouTube and Netflix. And our innovation does fall kind of in line with YouTube a lot of the time, more so than Netflix. But, we're going to try and get it to be a combination of both. Professionalism, as you can see, YouTube's pretty low, Netflix is pretty high. Professionalism for ours will either be where it is on this graph right now, or perhaps a little bit higher. Studio preference, we don't want any studio preference. Individual preference, we want that to be high. Accessibility, hopefully ours is very accessible. Inconvenience / ads, we do need to be paid, or we need the platform to run, so that might be a little higher than normal. And user involvement, hopefully, is very high. Red Ocean Landscape, like I mentioned before, we have YouTube and Netflix. YouTube and Netflix both preferring big corporations. This is the buyer's utility map with our competitors being like Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, Disney Plus, etc. in red, and us in blue. Hopefully we will be able to fulfill all of this. We want to get the fun and imagination up, is basically what you can learn from this, although we obviously want to improve in a lot of things. Our target market is online entertainment watchers, but we also want to get to traditional entertainment watchers, so people who watch Netflix and like movies and TV. We want to get to people who don't even watch movies and TV and get past that range into people who won't normally watch stuff. And then we also want people who aren't aware of individual creators' existence, or they just don't like them. Our innovation will change the world by innovating how creation can be done, by creating new avenues to create and embracing those creations, and just create an entirely new world of entertainment. Anyway, that was my presentation. Thank you very much.